Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on our fourth day. It is my honor to introduce to you our resource speaker for this afternoon. He is a researcher and practitioner of positive psychology, specializing in psychological strengths. He is a representative director of the Strength Association, an organization which provides positive psychology coaching and training for youth, parents, and teachers, as well as those who are involved in human development. His main interest is to promote psychological flourishing by empowering people to liberate themselves to be fully human. So his approach is not only focusing and developing strengths, but also guiding them to embrace weakness to achieve the wholeness. He is also actively engaged in volunteer work with the youth living in the slum areas in the Philippines. Without further ado, let us all welcome Dr. Shinichiro Machuguma. Hi sir, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Magandang hapon po. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello,
Yes
can you hear
sir.
me? Is
Yes doc.
okay? Okay. So
Yes sir.
maraming salamat for your kind introduction. And hi everyone. Nice to meet you. My name is Shin. Ako po si Shin. Nagsasalita ako ng Tagalog. Konti lang po. So now nag-practice ako mag-salita ng Tagalog. So I try to use some Tagalog. Okay, so so today's topic is embracing, can you see it? Sorry, because I now nakatira ko sa Tokyo, and because I don't use English so many times here in Japan, so my English is now becoming rusty. So please be patient and please be tolerant for my English. So today's topic is embracing a strength-based perspectives and practice in education. I'm a licensed psychologist and a researcher of positive psychology. So positive psychology is a scientific study of human strength and happiness and well-being. So positive aspect of human functionings. So I'm now studying. So today I'm very happy, Masaya ako, because I can share what I'm doing as a researcher and as a practitioner. So at the end of this session, I hope you can understand how to develop strength in students. And also, I'm Masaya ako because dahil before the COVID-19, I often go back and forth between Japan and the Philippines and providing some volunteer work in Cavite City, Parasa education. And also when I was in 20s, I was working as an aid worker. So I was working in Tacloban Leyte when the Typhoon Haiyan, the Yolanda hit. So I feel very grateful for this opportunity because even though the COVID-19 hinders me from going there, but at least I can somehow contribute to the society in the Philippines. And also because today's, I think it's Kuya Jeff's birthday, diba? So I'm really happy to celebrate his birthday with this presentation too. So before we start, I would like you to think about bucket importante and focusing on student strengths in education. So here's a question, and instead of me just providing the speech here today, I want to make this presentation more interactive. So your voice is very important. So using the chat function, could you packet type your answer, pakisagot, and this question through the chat function? Bakit importante ang focusing on student strength in education? As a teacher, why do we need to focus on student strengths or develop strengths? First, before we start, I want to hear your thought. Your answer is very helpful or to embrace and enrich this presentation. And also we can learn each other. For them, thank you, teacher Lisa, to get them motivated to learn. Yes, I like that. Motivation is related. I like that. So we know what to teach them and how to teach them properly. Yes, you can personalize your teaching style to students' needs. Yes, I like that. And also, thank you to encourage and motivate them. Yes. Anyone? Yeah, you said it's about motivation, personalization, enriching them. Yes, I like teacher Larry. Yes. Any comment is valuable. And there's no right or wrong answer. If you can type, please answer this question. Malamin Salama, to become more participative in class. Yes, I like that. Focus on strength. You empower them and they feel connected. Yes, I like teacher Arian Ling. Yeah. So as you mentioned, the research also shows that if we focus on strength in student rather than fixing weaknesses, the study shows that the student's happiness and well-being improves, and also self-esteem, self-efficacy is also increased, and class engagement, so the active participation, is also increased. And at the same time, also focusing strengths can decrease the depressive symptoms, depression, and hopelessness. So in times of COVID-19, this is very important to focus on strength. So it's not because of the academic purpose, but also for the well-being, mental health purposes. So today, I hope you can learn how to develop their strengths in scientific, with the scientific data. But in reality, we kind of tend to focus on what's wrong rather than what's right, diba? So, but do you know why we are so much obsessed with what's wrong with us? Please look at this circle. Which part your attention is going to? Maybe this part, diba? So people kind of are inclined to something missing. So we kind of tend to focus on what's wrong or what is missing in nature. Do you know why? Let's look at inside the brain. There is called a negativity bias. In the brain, we have all of us as a human beings. We all have the amygdala. We have this kind of small part of the brain. This amygdala functions as like a sensor to the threat or danger. So because thanks to amygdala, we can survive, we can identify something dangerous or some threat. So kind of we are in nature, we are hardwired to be negative for survival reasons. So just gently acknowledge our nature to focus on negativity. It's very natural for us to focus on or tend to or are inclined to negativity, something wrong or weaknesses. Just simply and gently acknowledge that so that we need to intentionally focus on what's right or what's strengths in student in order to engage and motivate them and help them to increase their well-being and mental health as well. So this is our topic. How can we develop strengths in students? Today I would like to introduce this cycle. It's called the strength development cycle. Actually, in order to cultivate strengths in student, there are three steps. It's called aware, explore, apply, AEA model. So for the rest of the presentation, I would like to go with you step by step. So first, aware. Let us become aware of our own strength. But as we learned, we tend to be blind to our strengths because we are hardwired to negativity or to something wrong. So we need some language to identify the strength. So the researcher of positive psychology, there are 555 researchers. So they study what's right with people through literature, through research and survey, and across the globe, they identify 24 universal character strengths. So everyone has universal character strengths, 24 character strengths. So to some degree, everyone has 24 character strengths. So in order to introduce this what character strengths are all about, from now, I would like to send a link, the YouTube link through chat. It takes like 7 minutes. So please watch this 7 minutes video. It's English. And after watching it, please come back. And I would like to continue my presentation. So from now, I'm going to share the link of the YouTube video. So it's 8 minutes actually. So please watch it. Then please come back again. So we're gonna start like 4:26 p.m. Here we go. Can you see it? I just send the chat. So please watch, please open the chat function. And please watch it. What characteristics is all about? Yeah, Maramin Salamat. Once you done watching, thank you so much for letting me know through chat. Maramin Salamat. Done. How was that? Very inspiring, diba? I like this video too. So please share this video with your student. That will be very inspiring for them too. Maramin Salamat. Okay, shall we continue? Can we put it? Okay, maraming salamat. Yes po, maraming salamat. Okay, so let us continue. So today, instead of, okay, okay. So as we watched the video, there are 24 character strengths. Firstly, they identified 6 virtues: wisdom, courage, humanity, transcendence, temperance, and justice. And within this virtue, there are 24 character strengths. And as the video mentioned, there are almost about 5 signature strengths, top 5 signature strengths, which represent who you are. So everyone, more or less, everyone has all 24 character strengths. If you are human beings, you have 24 character strengths to some degree. Like something is, some strengths is bigger than others, but all of them you have. And your student also has 24 character strengths. But among these, there are 5 signature strengths which represent who you are, which kind of motivates you, which kind of is a source of your motivation. So from now, I want you as a teacher to identify your own signature strength and the traits of the characteristics of signature strengths are, it's an essential part of who you are. It's like a core of who you are. It's like your identity. If you feel you are a very creative person, creativity, the strength of creativity is your signature strength. So it's essential. And it's natural and effortless to express. You can naturally express, you can naturally use this strength and uplifting and energizing to express. When you use that strength, you feel very energized and motivated and empowered. So if you can see, if you check these 3 characteristics, this is your signature strength. And everyone has about 5 signature strengths. Is it essential? Is it effortless to express? Is it something energizing to you when you use it? So here's the question. What are your signature strengths, your top 5 strengths? So from now, I'm gonna let us go through each of the strengths. Then please identify your top 5 strengths, okay? Is it essential? Is it essential? You can naturally and effortlessly use that strength and it energizes you. First, wisdom, cognitive strength. First one is curiosity, taking an interest in ongoing experience for its own sake, finding subjects and topics, fascinating, exploring and discovering. So you love to seek for new things. Curiosity. If you feel, oh, this is me, essential. Yeah, this is essential part of who I am. If you feel, oh, I can naturally use curiosity, or when you use curiosity, you feel very energized. If it is, curiosity is one of your signature strengths. Creativity, thinking of novel and productive ways to conceptualize and do things, including artistic achievement, but it's not limited to it. Judgment, thinking things through and examining them from all sides not jumping to conclusions, being able to change one's mind in light of evidence, weighing all evidence fairly. So it's kind of logical, critical thinking, judgment, love of learning, mastering new skills, topics, and bodies of knowledge, whether on one's own or formally related to the strengths of curiosity, but goes beyond it to describe the tendency to add systematically to what one knows and perspectives, being able to provide wise counsel to others, having way of looking at the world that makes sense to oneself, others, because you can see from the point of the like a bird, you can see from the top, from above, so you can have a wide perspective, so that you can give proper and wise counseling and advice. Okay, do you have any signature strengths in here? The next one is courage, emotional strength. First one is bravery, not shrinking from threats, challenge, difficulties, or pain, speaking up for what's right, even if there's opposition. If you feel like, oh, this is me, this might be one of your signature strengths. Honesty, speaking the truth, but more broadly, presenting oneself in a genuine way and acting in a sincere way, being without pretense, taking responsibility for one's feelings and actions. Perseverance, finishing what one starts, persevering in a course of action in spite of obstacles. Zest, approaching life with excitement and energy, not doing things halfway or half-heartedly, living life as an adventure, feeling alive and activated. Humanity, social strength, kindness, doing favor and good deed for others, helping them, taking care of them. Mabait. Love, valuing close relations with others, in particular those in which sharing and caring are reciprocated, being close to people, one-on-one relationship, one-to-one relationship. Love, the strengths of love and to be loved. So you can strengthen and reinforcing the close relationship. Social intelligence, being aware of the motives and feelings of others and oneself, knowing what to do to fit into different social situations, knowing what makes others people tick. So you can read the atmosphere, you can notice the emotions through the facial expression of others or something like that. Here's a justice, community strength, leadership, encouraging a group of which one is a member to get things done and at the same time maintain good relationship within the group, organizing group activities and seeing that they happen. Teamwork, working well as a member of a group or team, being loyal to the group, doing one's share. So you love to work in as a group team, as a group, or as a group team members, rather than working individually. Fairness, treating all people the same according to notion of fairness and justice, not letting feelings bias decisions about others, giving everyone a fair chance. As a temperance, protective strength, forgiveness, forgiving those who have done wrong, accepting others' shortcomings, giving people a second chance, not being vengeful. Self-regulation, regulating what one feels and does, being disciplined, controlling one's appetite and emotions. Humility, letting one's accomplishments speak for themselves, not regarding oneself as more special than one is. And prudence, being careful about one's choices, not taking undue risks, not saying or doing things that might later be regretted. Here's the last one, transcendent spiritual strength, hope, expecting the best in the future and working to achieve it, believing that a good future is something that can be brought about. Appreciating one's beauty and excellence, noticing and appreciating beauty and excellence, and or skilled performance in various domains of life, from nature to art, to mathematics, to science, to everyday experience. So you can be touched or moved by seeing the beauty of nature or the high performance of the people. Spirituality, having coherent beliefs about the higher purpose and meaning of the universe, knowing where one fits within the larger scheme, having beliefs about the meaning of life that shape conduct and provide comfort. So you don't have to be religious. It's about spiritual. You can be religious and spiritual, but this spirituality is not related to religiousness, just spiritual. And gratitude, being aware of and thankful for the good things that happen, taking time to express thanks. And here's the last one, humor, liking to laugh and tease, bringing smiles to other people, seeing the light side, making jokes. I know Maraming Filipinos have this kind of strength. I know many jokers in the Philippines. It's only the Philippines. I like that. Okay, so there are 24 character strengths. So we just go through each of the strengths. So please identify around 5 signature strengths. Is it essential part of who you are? You can can you express this strength naturally, or it gives you some energizing energy when you use this strength? If you say yes, 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 these are your signature strengths. Please think about it. Everyone has 24 character strengths, more or less to some degree. But among 5 strengths, everyone has character strength, a signature strength. For those who identify your character strengths, could you share your top 5 strengths in a chat box, in a chat function? Everyone has 24 character strength. Once you identify, thank you, Ari Lin. Creativity, curiosity, honesty, kindness, and leadership. Yeah, I like that. Alisa, teacher Alisa, kindness, appreciation, beauty, and excellence, gratitude, forgiveness, honesty. Marami Salamat, teacher Alexandra, honesty, love, kindness, humor, forgiveness. I like that. Okay. You must be a joker, diba? Marami Salamat, teacher Mark, perspective, honesty, love, humor, forgiveness, team. Diba? Okay. Curiosity, teamwork, spirituality, hope, gratitude, fairness, honesty. I like that. Okay, so please look at the chat box. Have you noticed everyone has unique combination of character strengths, diba? Not everyone has different combination of character strengths. Maybe someone's, and also the meaning of each strength is different from one person to another's, diba? Maybe Alicia's kindness is different from Alexandra's kindness. So every strength has different meaning to different persons. And also the combination of these 5 character strengths is different. That makes you unique. That makes you who you are, diba? And every student has a unique set of character strengths. So once we identify these character strengths, we can kind of develop their character in their unique way in a by personalizing. Okay, maraming salamat po for sharing your character signature strength. So here's ano limang signature strengths ninyo. Is it right, tama ba may Tagalog? And I want you to choose one signature strength and please share the reason why you chose as your signature strengths with your personal stories in the past. Maybe you must have some stories or episodes which helps you to identify your strength, diba? Maybe you choose humor because in the past you make some jokes and someone's laughing, you made someone smile. So that's why you feel that you have humor as your signature strength, diba? So please choose one signature strength and could you share, please share the reason why you chose as your top 5, your signature strength. And if you can write some stories or episodes in the past, we can easily understand, oh, that's why you chose this signature strength. If you don't mind, could you share some episodes in the past where you express that signature strength? Oh, maraming salamat, maraming salamat. Yeah, everyone has different combination of character strengths. I like that. A curiosity because I keep on watching to learn things I thought I cannot do before, but I can do now. Yeah, so you kind of develop your curiosity through practice, teacher Ariane. I like that. Yeah, everyone, kindness a good subordinate. Maraming salamat po, teacher Leonida. Yeah. Forgiveness, everyone deserves a second chance. Yeah, that's right, teacher Domling. Yeah, everyone has different signature strength, and everyone has different meaning for each character strength. That makes you unique. Okay, I'm gonna give 1 more minute. Gratitude, teacher Alisa. I always make it a point to write every night on my journal things that I'm grateful for. Wow, by being grateful, it helps me feel more positive emotions and release good experience and reduce materialism. It helps me be content with everything I have. I like that. And also the research also shows that writing 5 blessing things, counting 5 blessings at night helps you improve your mental as well as physical health. Actually, yeah, I like that. Oh, maraming salamat. Maraming story and episodes. I like that. Maraming salamat. Maraming salamat, teacher Ashfield, teacher Mark, honesty and teamwork. Yeah. Teacher Maria, hope, always giving me a reason to stand still. Wow, that's great. Teacher Jonna, kindness, right? Teacher Angelita, forgiveness, okay, to leave a peaceful mind. Teacher Wilfred, teamwork, okay. Teacher Reggie, creativity, and teacher self as humility, okay. So as you can notice, everyone has different combination of signature strengths and everyone has different meaning of signature strengths. That makes you unique. I like that. Maraming salamat, teacher Ari Aizer, gratitude, and Frances, teacher Frances, teamwork. I like that. So please, from now, in chat box, I'm gonna share some short description of character strength, the PDF file I'm gonna share, so that when you go back to school, you can share with your teachers, and also you can share with your student. So please please help them identify their own strengths. Okay, so there you go. I send just now CSendo call PDF file. Sorry, my Tagalog. Yeah, I just send it. Send PDF file sa chat box. Is my Tagalog correct? I don't know. Pero yeah, I just sent a PDF file via character strengths brief description. So you can download it and you can share these 24 character strengths with your students and with your teacher so that everyone you can identify, they can identify their own signature strengths that makes them who they are, that makes them unique identity. Okay, if you cannot find this file, please give me some message through Messenger or something, or through Facebook. I can download, I can send it. So don't worry about it. One problema. Okay. Okay, we still have 2 minutes. Let's go. And if you have some difficulties with finding signature strengths, there is a survey. There is like a questionnaire online. It's free. You can take free via survey. There are 120 questions, and from 10 years old, you can take this test. Please Google www.viacharacter.organization, and I think there is a Tagalog translation as well. And once you answer this question, you can see the sequence of your character strength, and the top 5 strengths would be your your signature strength. So you can take via survey to get as well. So if you have some difficulty to identifying your signature strength, maybe you can use this site as well. Actually, here's my top 5 strengths. Spirituality is number 1. Also, in order to help students to become more aware of their own strength, you can spot strengths in others too. So try to spot strengths in others during the school time or work time, and share your observation with them weekly. Then something visible is recommended. Maybe once you identify one of 24 character strengths through student action or what they say, you can write like a thanks letter. You can write, oh, I spot strengths of kindness when you are doing blah, 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 so that they can have some feedback and they can identify their strengths more easily. So I highly recommend it. And then once we are aware of our own strength, let us explore and appreciate our own strength. You need to explore and appreciate the value of your strength by reflecting and analyzing your successes. The research shows that when you do something good, when you success, usually you use your signature strength because it's natural to you. So step 1, tell me about your success in the past. So think about, please reflect your success in the past, even small things. Then once you talk about your success, maybe in pairs, you can identify which of your signature strengths that contribute to that success. Maybe you can do this kind of activity. First, recall your success. Oh, I do blah, blah, I accomplish blah, blah. Then maybe your partner may ask, oh, so which of your strengths contributed to that success, so that you can appreciate, you can value and appreciate your signature strengths. Or because of this strength, or thanks to this strength, I can experience this success. So do you have any ideas or examples? Do you think about your past success? Think about it. Think about your past success in the past. You accomplished something, passing the licensure examination for teachers, love for learning, perseverance. I like that. Yeah. So some of your signature strengths must have supported you at the time. So actually, to produce excellence, we must study excellence. We need to analyze our own success. By analyzing and reflecting our own success, we can identify which strength helps us to make it happen, so that we can apply these strengths in the future's goal as well. So I highly encourage you to have some time to reflect and analyze your success in the past. Also, I encourage you to encourage students to reflect and analyze the success in the past rather than failures. Yeah, of course, as we already know that we can learn some very useful, helpful lesson from analyzing, reflecting failure, diba? From mistake. Pero it's more important to analyze and reflect our own success, because we can learn what makes us successful by identifying how your strengths functions at the time. So I highly encourage you to make pairs and tell your partner about your success and identify together your signature strength in the past, so that you can identify your signature strengths, and you can also appreciate the value and the power and the edge of your strength. Okay, then after that, finally, let us apply our strength into the daily life. So I highly recommend each day, please use one of your signature strengths in your own way in everyday life. If you have a strength of humor, please make some people laugh, make some people smile once a day. Or if you have a strength of kindness, maybe you can help others just small way. It doesn't matter how big. So when you use your character strengths, especially signature strength in daily life, your happiness level, well-being level increased, and your depressive symptom and your hopefulness decreased. So that is good for our health. So I highly encourage you to use this strength, apply this strength in daily life, as well as students do. To summarize, to wrap up my presentation, I want to share this quote with you. Here's a Picasso's quote. The meaning of life is to find your gift, and the purpose of life is to give it away. So as we can learn today, everyone has a unique gift. Everyone has different combination and different meaning of signature strength. So all we need to do is just to give it away for the student, so that student also can flourish. At the same time, your mental health, your well-being is flourishing. So let us use our strengths for the greater good. God bless you. And here's my presentations over. My presentation is over. I hope this presentation will be helpful for you to develop your student strength. Maraming salamat. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing the. Okay. Okay, yeah. If you have any question, please type. Please send in the chat box, or you can send me through Facebook or whatever. My name is Shinichiro Matsuguma. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the host. Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
Maraming salamat.
Please allow me to share my screen for the certificate of recognition.
Maraming salamat. Arigatou gozaimasu.
On behalf of Center for Human Research and Development Foundation Incorporated, we would like to award the Certificate of Recognition to Dr. Shinichiro Matsuguma for being our resource speaker in the Educators Congress and International Seminar Workshop on Designing Learning Experience on Embracing a Strength-Based Perspectives and Practice in Education, held on July 5, 2021 in Quezon City, given this fifth day of July in the year of our Lord 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines. Signed by our President, Ms. Virginia P. Gapus, our Program Director, Mr. Jeffrey M. Mayor, and yours truly. Again, thank you so much po.
Maraming salamat po. God bless.
Stay safe, sir. God bless din po.
You too. Maraming salamat.
We will now observe a health break. Remind ko lang po for the premium participants, lilipat lang po tayo sa other link for the session of Sir Jeffrey M. Mayor. So we will be back at 5:15. The session of Sir Jeff is starting at 5:15 po. Thank you po, and we will see you for the next link po. To other Zoom link. Thank you po. And for the YouTube live participants, please be reminded po that we will resume in 5:30. At 5:30, we will observe a health break din po in 30 minutes. Thank you po. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our last session. To deliver the session on online assessment made easy, let us all welcome Mr. Sylvester Escobia, Nuwado Country Representative.
Nuadu, digital platform for personalised learning and assessment. Everyone can achieve greatness. We believe data-driven education is the key. Nuadu is a personalised learning environment designed to assess gaps in students' knowledge and provide them with content and tools to successfully bridge these gaps with quality content aligned with the curriculum. Track and evaluate students' progress using reporting tools. Make your lessons attractive using ready-made interactive materials. Or create and upload your own resources. Assign individualised exercises to increase proficiency and engagement. Verify knowledge through tests, quizzes and reviews. Analyse performance over time. Access anywhere on PC and mobile. Does it work? Is Nuadu simple to use? Did Nuadu boost your motivation to do homework? Nuadu is an interactive, data-driven assessment platform that allows teachers to create a personalised learning environment for their students, track their progress, and effectively address individual learning gaps. Teachers already using Nuadu save time, up to 7 hours per week. Nuadu, reach your goals.
Nuadu provides a personalised, interactive and data-driven learning environment. Streamline the teaching process, assess student performance and bridge learning gaps with Nuadu's data-driven platform. Choose from curriculum-based content provided by renowned academic publishers. Customised reporting to fit each student's goal. Access implementation support and live chat customer service. Solve educational challenges with stable, on-demand cloud infrastructure. Nuadu has business partnerships in Australia, Indonesia, the Philippines, Poland, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand and Vietnam.
Hi, good day everyone. My name is Sylvester Escobia. I'm the country representative of Nuwando. So first and foremost, I would like to thank CHRDF for inviting me to be one of their guest speakers for today's webinar. So I know that this may be your first time hearing about Nuwadu, or you may have seen Nuwadu in Facebook or in other social media sites. But to give you a quick background of what Nuwadu is or where the term came from, it's actually a Celtic term which was later on used in Germany and turned into newt, meaning to acquire. So in this case, for the education sector, it is of course to acquire knowledge, right? So the this is a digital platform or digital learning platform, or we may call it learning management system as well, which focuses more on assessment and content management. And so, of course, we'll know more about it in a bit. For now, I would like to share my insights and thoughts ko muna on how to make our online assessment easier, right? So first, let's review ano po ba yung mga types of assessments that we use. So in general, although we have different types of assessments or a lot of assessments, or there's a plethora of assessments that we usually provide to our students, but in general, they can be divided into three categories. The first is the assessment for learning, which is a formative assessment, assessment of learning, which is summative, and assessment as learning. Yeah, so let's go with formative first. So the formative assessment is ongoing assessment, but that of course allows teachers to monitor students on a day-to-day basis and modify their teaching based on what the students need to be successful. So this assessment provides students with the timely, specific feedback that they need to make adjustments to their learning. So next naman po, yung summative naman po natin is a snapshot in time. So meaning basically we have taught a lot of lessons already, and we wanted to gauge where the students at when it comes to their learning milestones. So this is the type of assessments that we provide. Usually ito yung mid-quarter exams natin and yung quarterly exams and so on. And so lets the teacher and students and their parents know how well each student has completed their learning task and activities. So it also provides some information about student achievement. Now, on the other hand, so assessment as learning, it develops and supports students' metacognitive skills. This form of assessment is crucial in helping students become lifelong learners. As students engage in peer and self-assessment, they learn to make sense of information related to prior knowledge and use it for new learning. Students develop a sense of ownership and efficacy when they use a teacher, peer, and self-assessment feedback to make adjustments, improvements, and changes to what they understand. So why are we discussing this? So basically, I just wanted to do a quick categorization of what the types of assessments that we have. Kasi nga, this is very important when we transition to online assessments. And why is that important? So let's proceed with the next slide. So traditional assessment versus online assessment. In general, I know you would agree with me, offline and online assessment has the same goal, which is to gauge the learning of the students and may contain the same elements. So let's say we have an offline assessment and then we also have an online assessment. Yung offline, traditional pen and paper, online using a platform. So there is, or in some cases, or in some schools that provides different modes of learning, yung online distance learning and then yung hybrid learning, wherein they also have pen and paper. Yung pwede rin, ito yung tinatawag nating modular, which they use pen and paper for assessments. Pwedeng they have the same elements or the same questions, but they differ mainly on the delivery or planning and the implementation and or the delivery of the assessment. So unlike the traditional assessments where teachers can easily supervise these assessments, online assessments requires the teachers and the school to consider multiple factors. And kasi sa traditional assessment natin, pagpasok ng mga bata sa school, once the subject class starts and examination time, then the teacher would just provide the questionnaires and the students would answer, and then that's it. And then wait for the students to finish, pass the papers, teacher would check, and then the teacher would provide the result. So yun yung nakasanayan po natin. Now, in online assessments, there are a lot of factors that we need to consider. And so first and foremost, what type of assessment to provide? So in a given, like if we want to provide an assessment or an online assessment, we need to first identify kung formative ba to, or is this or are we going to provide a summative assessment? Why? Kasi when it comes to we all know that these two types of assessments would have their own impact, not only on the grades of the students, but of course the the restrictions or yung supervision required when going through these assessments. Kumbaga yung formative, we can have the students answer them on their own kasi pwede yung seat work, homework, like minimal supervision yung provide ni teacher dyan eh. But when it comes to summative assessments na or yung mga high stakes examinations like mid-quarter and quarterly examinations po natin, kailangan strict tayo dyan. We have rules and so on and so forth. So now once we have identified that type of assessment, how do we deliver this? So yun na yung next consideration natin. What platform to use, what are the necessary preparation, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the capacity of the students when it comes to the device that they are using. It's connected yan dun sa second factor natin na binigay ko. By the way, the factors that I have here are based on my insight. So basically, there could be more factors. I know there are more. So these are just the general factors that I would consider as a basic requirement when you are going to provide an online assessment or when you are going to do an online assessment. Yeah. The capacity of the students, are my students all using mobile devices? Are some of them using laptops or desktops and so on? And that's very important as well. Later on, we'll know more about it. And then how do we gather and deliver the results? Yeah. So usually, depending on the platform, we can get the results real time. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of online assessments. Next is how to provide feedback. Yeah. So all of these factors usually fall in one of the following stages. I actually created the 4 stages for online assessments. The preparation, the delivery, result, and the conclusion. So yan po yung 4 stages that we in Nuwadu are focusing on. So let's proceed with the preparation. So sa preparation, ano-ano po ba yung mga dapat natin i-consider? So as mentioned in the previous slides, there are different types of assessments that we provide to our students. This is the first thing that we may want to consider as a type affects the gravity of the results of the assessment. And just to give an example, katulad ng binigay ko po kanina, formative assessment can be provided to the students unsupervised, especially right now sa new normal or sa scenario natin ngayon, online learning na or online classes, while a summative assessments needs to be supervised or at the very least, restrictions should be imposed. And so after considering the type of assessment, we would then need to identify the best method of delivery for the assessment that we would like to provide, which lead us to identifying the right platform to use. So sa dami-dami ng platform that are available right now, just to name a few, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Quipper, and of course Nuwadu, and there's a lot more. I know you can name more platforms, but which of these platforms would we consider? Right, that's the question. Now, here are some of the questions that you can ask yourself for you to be able to identify which would be the best platform to use. So first, can the platform allow me to upload my own resources or questions? Can the platform accommodate the type of questions that I would like to add? Yan, importante po yan. And then, can my students access the assessment via mobile or would they need a desktop or a laptop? So katulad nung binanggit ko kanina as one of the factors, yung capacity ng students natin when it comes to the devices that they use. Kasi what if we use a platform na para lang sa desktop or a laptop and hindi siya optimized for mobile, then some students who can only use mobile devices, mahihirapan silang mag-go through ng assessment. And how would I gather the results using the specific platform that I want to use? And then after that, How can I provide feedback to my students? And so on. And there are a lot more. Actually, I know that you can name for our participants here, they can name more questions that they were asking themselves when it comes to considering which platform to use. Yan. So part po yan no preparation natin for online assessments. So the type of assessment, the availability of the devices, the platform, and so on. So yan po yung nasa preparation stage natin. Next is for the delivery stage. So after deciding which platform to use, after we have uploaded all of our resources, making all the necessary preparations, what do we usually do during the delivery stage or wherein um, we already sent the assessment form sa mga students natin and they are ready to answer. So here are just some tips that I would like to provide. First is make sure that the students are ready by checking if they are online using the system that the school uses. So I know from last year, iba-iba po yung mga platforms na ginamit natin. Some schools uses Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, Zoom, Nuado, and so on. And then have the students check their connection. And so after, let's say you have 20 students, okay, they're online, ready to take the test. Of course, make sure that their connection are okay. Usually, I would suggest having them run a speed test. So marami po tayong speed test site. But the most, I would say what the most famous speed test site would be speedtest.net. And then provide the reminders and the rules when taking the assessment. Yeah, ano yung mga do's and don'ts po ni teacher when the students takes the assessment, especially sa mga summative assessments natin. Kailangan ba naka-on yung camera? Kailangan naka-on yung mic ng lahat ng students so that the teacher can hear and can see kung ano yung surroundings ng students and so on. Yan. Importante po yan. And then lastly, provide the process of reporting a problem. Kasi as we all know, there are some factors that affects the ability of the students to take the assessments, which the students and the teachers do not have any control of. Like kunyari, nawala ng kuryente, nawala ng internet, and so on and so forth. What are the um, things that the students needs to do or need to take note of if some of these things arises? Kunyari, nagka-problem sa internet, ayaw na mag-load ng browser habang nag-exam, hindi na niya masagot yung ibang options. Do the students need to take a screenshot of what's happening and then send it to the teacher and so on and so forth. So these things are actually set by the teachers and or by the school. Yeah. Then for the results, so after the students go through the assessments, tapos na nilang sagutan, and we are now gathering the result of the online assessment. And as you have all experienced, I'm not sure if everyone would agree with me. With the assessment that we provide online, it's much easier to get the results. Some of the platform would allow you to extract the result, or there's a dashboard wherein you can view the result easier or easily, and so on. And so this is one of the advantages of online assessment, which ultimately helps save time for the teachers. And what do we do with the results? So na nakuha na natin yung result. What's the next step? And traditionally, the results are provided to the students. However, since we get the result a lot faster during an online assessment, the teacher now have extra time to provide feedback to the students, which is very important po, especially right now while we're doing online classes. Kasi bihira po yung it's very rarely that we can focus on one student alone. But since we do not have to go through all the questionnaires anymore, check them one by one, and so on and so forth, then we have an extra time which we can use to further help our students, which is providing a feedback. syempre dapat yung feedback na binibigay po natin is very relevant or based on the student's performance as well. Pwede rin po tayo magbigay ng reminders or additional pointers to review for the students just in case to prepare for um, the next activities that a teacher would have the students do. And we can it's up to the teacher technically if they want to provide feedback to to a specific student or to the whole class. But generally providing feedback to the students is very important because this is how not only the students would get not only get or not would not only gauge their performance through the results, but of course, yung sa feedback din ng teachers nila. Yan, so malaking bagay po yan. However, getting the result and providing the feedback is not the end goal of providing assessments. And we use the results not only to gauge the learning of the students, but also to gauge how effective our teaching methods are. Yan. So, kumbaga sa formative assessments, we provide formative assessments to gauge the learning of the students on a day-to-day basis. So, like, usually if we provide a formative assessments, maraming students nagkamali sa number 2, 3, 4, maybe we can rediscuss this the next day before our new topic kasi most likely most of the students did not understand yung topics related to that question. Yeah. Now for the conclusion, as mentioned earlier, the result not only helps the teachers gauge the students' learning progress, but it's also a way for the teacher to assess themselves or to be able to re-strategize and improve yung methods of teaching. And I think for me, that's one of the most, that's something that is, kumbaga sa iceberg, that's something underneath. When we have, like, let's say we have an iceberg, meron tayong mga nakikita dun sa above sea level, and then we don't see the below sea level. So in general, the common people would say that when it comes to assessments, para lang to sa mga students to check their learning progress, how much they have learned all throughout the week, the month, or the year, and so on. But on the other hand, for the teachers, it is very important to help us gauge, to help us identify yung gaps naman natin as a teacher. So what are the things that we need to improve on, and what are the things that we can do to re-strategize? Kumbaga, we can switch our focus on the improvements that we can provide on the next day or on the next month, and so on. So in the next few lessons, kumbaga dyan na po papasok yung adjustments natin. So as you can see, with the 4 stages, preparation, delivery, result, and conclusion, babalik tayo sa preparation. So learning is a cycle. So for the teacher, we teach and we learn as well. And now with that said, how can Nuwadu help dun sa online assessments? Or what are the benefits, or how do we help ease up yung assessments or online assessments? And as I mentioned earlier, Nuwadu is a learning management system which also focuses on assessments. So these are just some of the things that Nuwadu can help the teachers on. So these are not all. So marami pa po. So for now, quick peek po muna kung ano yung or what's in store for the teachers and the school when they opt to use the Nuwadu platform. So of course, we have content packages from renowned publishers globally and PH contents aligned with the DepEd curriculum. So ito yung tinatawag nating mga preloaded materials and questions, or yung question bank sa tinatawag. School and teacher content management, deliver knowledge-based resources and lesson contents, formative, summative assessments and exam preparation, instant results and student progress reports, individualized and differentiated learning. Yeah. So these are just an overview of what Nuado can help you with. Right? So functionality. So of course, first and foremost, personalization. Dito papasok yung after the online assessments, yung sa stages ko kanina, after the conclusion, we can do personalization or iti-tailor fit natin mga probably next assessments natin or the way we provide lessons to our students based on the learner's needs. Kasi alam naman natin yung mga students po natin, they have different learning curves, right? So you can benefit from automated adaptive training tailored to the learner's needs, curriculum, and cognitive skills gaps. And then, of course, design individual learning paths and provide formative, individualized feedback to learners, thereby increasing their proficiency and engagement. And the next is yung online assessments, yung formative assessment and summative assessment natin. With Nuado, you can practice every day on bite-sized exercises and receive and provide instant feedback to the students. Track progress to discover any skill gaps and assign additional exercises to address them. Monitor and provide assessments with restrictions to ensure the integrity of the results. And that's one of the challenges that we have for online assessments for this school year 2020. Kasi it's online, yun yung usual na questions ng mga parents na how can we be sure na yung score ng bata is talagang yun yung score niya and there were no other factors that affected it. No, alam naman natin like yung cheating or maybe browsing through a site to find the answer and so on and so forth. Yan. So later on, we'll learn more on how Nuado can help with that. And then of course, respond to students' needs by personalizing the contents, just like I've mentioned earlier. And lastly, yung content management, wherein it allows the school to build their own contents and even the teachers. All right, so what are the benefits for the teacher? So let's start with the education shareholders first. So for the teachers, katulad ng other platforms that you may have used, automatic marking and instant feedback, or automatic marking, and then we also have instant feedback wherein you can provide feedback to your students as a class or specific students lang. And then we have progress reports and real-time analysis. And so not only would you get the results from an assessment, but you can view the progress of all the assessments that you have provided to your students within a range of time or within a period. So you can see yung progress nila are they yung trend nila when it comes to the assessments, pataas ba yung score nila or pababa. Yeah. And then personalized assignments based on students' needs, yung differentiated learning na tinatawag. Then exam monitoring. Yan. Monitor the status of the activities real time and provide restrictions like anti-cheat, exam duration, start and stop time. Yan. Well, I'll give you a tour later on how that's done within the platform. And next is give your comments easily, provide constructive feedback to students in the form of text, emoji, or voice recording. So that's for the teacher. Now let's proceed for the learners. How would the learners benefit from Nuado? So I'm going to give two scenarios here, or an example scenario here. I have two students, Maria and Juan. They are going to take the English test or exam at home. So they are both using the Nuado app to prepare for the test. So Maria knows she will pass the test. Why? Because she scored 100% at each available topic and completed all the Nuadu exercises at high difficulty level. So not only does a teacher get the progress result, the progress of the um, assessments, but the students themselves would have their own progress reports which they can view using their account. The next one is one averages 70% in his test. So in this case, one is still doubtful if he would pass the English test. So what the teachers can do to help one is to provide differentiated learning, provide additional exercises, additional materials for one to review, and then additional exam preparation to gauge the level of understanding of one for the topics covered on that exam. And then just a day before the test, one scores 85% in his preparation using the Nuadu app. So 85% siya, and he is now confident to take the test because there is a what do you call this, a proof that he is improving and that he is well prepared for the examination. Now let's proceed for the school admin. So for the school admin, enhanced performance monitoring, reports of teachers and student works, tracking of school performance, informed decisions to implement the right strategies, insights in real time, and what I mentioned earlier, content management. Build resources that are accessible for students and teachers, customized lesson structures aligned to the school's curriculum. Also to create question banks for different types of assessments and exercises. And so now, let me give you a quick view of the platform. So, all right. So this is the teacher's account of the Nuadu platform. This is how it would look like. So let's go through some of the sections that we have here. So this is the main dashboard or yung start section natin. I will discuss this in a bit or mamaya. We'll run through the knowledge base first. Yung knowledge base po natin, or the knowledge base section, this is the repository of the learning materials that the school has provided or has uploaded to the platform, which can be accessed by the students and the teachers. And this can also be, dito rin po yung mga preloaded materials natin. And this is where the teacher can also upload their own resources that they want to share to the students. Next is yung question section, or what we call the question bank. So all the questions preloaded or school-owned, uploaded by the school to the Nuadu platform, or even yung questions that the teacher has created for formative assessments, it will all be saved here. So we have different filters here that the teacher can use. Choose a scope, science subject ba or math subject, what specific topic and subtopic, grade level, topic, and then subtopic here. If you confirm that, all the questions that I can see now are only under this subtopic. So this is the part where I can create my own questions as well. And then so for the lesson section, this is where the module are saved. So the teacher can create a lesson or a module combining yung resources under the knowledge base section and the questions section. Yeah, so yun yung quick preview of the different section or yung knowledge base, questions, and lesson section ng Nuadu. So later na po yung progress section natin. Let's go back to start first. Yeah. So let's say we are already done with the preparation. Na-upload na natin yung mga questions na gusto nating for the exam. Now it's time for the delivery. How are we going to assign the exam? Yan. So we have what we call the activity generator here. Ito yung blue button natin. So we can click the down arrow here to the right. Lalabas yung other options natin, new quiz, new exam. So new assignment, new quiz, new exam. So let's say exam yung ibibigay natin sa class. And you can choose the exam type, exam with weights or exam with marks. So what does this mean? Exam with weights, meaning percentages yung result na makukuha natin. We want to get the percentage. So kunyari, 18 out of 20 yung students na makikita niya and makikita ni teacher is 90%. Yung exam with marks naman is we are putting points or the different points per question. Yeah. So let's go with exam with marks. So exam name, let's say science exam 1. And so I have two options here, traditional exam or exam with end date. So traditional exam is all the students can or have to start the exam at the same time, and a student who is late will have less time to solve. So ito yung parang mimicking the traditional setup, or in a 1 hour period, yung students would have maybe 45 minutes to answer the exam. And if they're not yet done or if late sila mag-start, bawas na po yung 45 minutes nila. Now, exam with end date, on the other hand, it allows the students to answer the exam at their own pace or at their own time, but they need to finish the exam within the set start and due date na nilagay po ni teacher. So let's go with exam with end date. So let's say the start date is July 1, right? 9:50. Yeah, it's for 30 minutes. I'm gonna set it to 30 minutes. And then they can do the exam up until tomorrow or July 2. So I'm gonna give them 24 hours to answer the exam. Now we have, after that, we can set instant result or anti-cheat. Instant results meaning if I turn this on, if a student finishes the exam, he or she can get his or her results right away. But if I turn this off, they can only get their results once everyone is done with the exam. And so hindi nila alam kung ilan yung score nila. They will have to wait for their classmates to finish the exam. And then we have the anti-cheat system. So anti-cheat system, this would pretty much randomize the order of questions. So let's say si student A, yung number 1 niya can be number 5 ni student B. That's if I turn that on. Right, so once I have set this up, yung mga restrictions ko and all, so I've set it to start at 9:50. The students would have 30 minutes and the students all of the students should be done by July 2nd, 9 p.m. So this means, like kunyari, si student A, sinagutan niya ng 9:50, inopen yung exam ng 9:50, the 30 minutes or student A needs to finish the exam within 30 minutes. Otherwise, hindi na po niya masasagutan yung questions na unfinished and it will be graded as 0. Right? And then yung si student B naman, pwede yung tomorrow morning sagutan. And then, of course, once he or she opens the exam, 30 minutes lang din. Yung 30 minutes na duration na yan, it starts once they open the exam. Next, and then I will choose the subject. So it's for science. Let's say grade 4 yung class na tinuturuan ko. I'm gonna go with changes that materials undergo. Choose a class. Choose choose class 1A, and then select the questions that you would like to provide. And so this is the total number of questions is 13. And then I have 2 easy questions, 8 medium difficulty level questions, and 3 difficult or hard questions. So I'm just gonna randomly pick for now the questions that I want my students to answer. So match singular yung question. Next. I can set the points here or yung mark. And so kunyari question number 2, 2 marks. Gusto ko 1 lang siya. I want everything to be 1 mark or 1 point lang. And then question number 5, since this is difficult, I'll let it be at 3 marks. And I'm gonna assign it. Right, so now we have the activity tile for the exam. This is what we call the activity tile. So this is the part where the teacher can monitor the exam through his or her dashboard real time. So why do I say real time? So let me go to the student account. Just refresh the page. And so this is the exam that the teacher has assigned to me. So I'm the student. So now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start the exam. So you see, meron na po siyang banner dito na lumalabas or notification. 30 minutes left to complete the activity. After you start, you cannot stop the timer. So let's click start. Same notification. I'm gonna click activate exam. So answer the questions here. I can see the timer here and also the timer here sa lower left and then yung timer sa upper right. And so I'm gonna answer my questions now. Once the student selects an answer, he or she needs to click confirm to confirm the answer. So yung kanina is ABCD multiple choice, yung usual question type that we provide sa traditional exam. This time now I have a drop down button. Which cutting utensils are appropriate? But I'm just gonna answer randomly here. Go through the questions. And however, while I'm answering it, let me go, while I have this open on the student account, let me go back to the teacher's account. Let me refresh this. Yeah. So this is the exam. It's in progress. One student is already answering the exam. 11 students hindi pa po nila nakikita or hindi pa nila ino-open yung exam. So real time, the teacher can actually see it. Ilan yung tapos na, ilan yung sumasagot pa lang, and ilan yung hindi pa nakakita or hindi pa nag-review ng exam. I can even click on show results here and let me go to aerial rise. I can already see yung answers ni Ariel if he or she is correct or not. So at this point, 2 yung sinagutan niyang questions, 2 na yung score niya here. And now, what's good about this, when you're doing a real-time check, like let's say during the delivery stage ng exam, merong student na hindi nakapag-view ng exam kasi na biglang nawala yung internet connection nila. That's one of the challenges dito sa new normal. Now with the use of Nuadu, you can actually remove students while the exam is while the activity is ongoing para hindi na niya mabuksan yung exam or hindi na niya makita yung question. So that you can just reassign the exam to that student pagka okay na yung internet connection na. Okay? Of course, this depends on the rules that the school would set when it comes to the students retaking the exam. So for now, I'm not gonna remove that student. Let me go back to the student's account. Let me just finish the exam. Just gonna answer these randomly. Matching. Match, people can match. And I'm gonna confirm that. And as you can see, if the answer has been confirmed, there would be an indicator that the question has already been answered with the completed notification here or completed message right after the question number. Let me close this out. See, if I close it, if you finish the exam, you cannot continue it later. Are you sure you want to finish this exam? Yes, I've finished. Here, so I'm done with the exam. So right now, me as a student, I'll just have to wait for my students to, or for the class, or for my classmates to finish the exam before I can see my result. Now, let me go back to the teacher. Yeah, so as you can see, Ariel has finished the exam, so finished, one student, and nobody's answering it right now, and 11 students have not opened the exam yet. So during the delivery of the exam or the delivery stage, the teacher can then send messages or notify yung mga students na that have not opened their exam yet, which is very helpful. Now, this is just one of the things that a teacher can do to monitor the exam. We also have a way to invigilate or to do online proctoring sa examinations natin, especially yung mga first quarterly, yung mga quarterly exam natin or yung mga high-stake exam. But we'll show that at a later time siguro. Right, so now we're done with the delivery. So let's say tapos na yung mga students natin mag-answer ng exam. We have the results and so on and so forth. Now, how would the teacher view the results? Same as what I did earlier. We have the show results here. Yeah, so Ariel, 4 points out of 7. And kasi yung question number 5 natin is 3 marks. I can view and I can provide, once the exam is completed, let me look for a finished here. So let's say finished na yung exam. Once the exam is finished, the teacher can now add or provide feedback sa class per question or for the whole activity. And pwede siya sa buong class. Now I can also provide a feedback to just a specific student here on a certain question na nagkamali siya. I can either use a text-based feedback or I can record my voice message as a feedback for the student. Kasi alam naman natin, mga students natin, they love hearing the teachers. Yeah. So let's close that out. So aside from this one, how would we be able to extract the result or see the result? That's where we go to the progress section. So nandito na tayo sa conclusion stage. Doon na yung, we already have the results. Now we want to take a look at the bigger picture. And so activities. So under the progress section, we have 4 different views. Activities, topics, curriculum, and cognitive skills. I can set the subject here. specific students or class, and the period or the range where I want to view the progress. So pwede siyang monthly, pwedeng quarterly, pwedeng yearly. Depends on the teacher, what he or she wants to view. Now from here, all the assessments can be viewed under activities view. So makikita ko lahat ng assessments na binigay ko sa class ko, the average of the class, the individual score of the students. I can even print this report as an Excel file or as a PDF. Yan, to extract it. Excel, I can use Excel to extract the data, and then I'll just transfer it or migrate it dun sa grading system or grading tool na ginagamit ng school. Yan, kung whichever system you use, or there are some na Excel yung gamit, then you can easily just copy paste the scores. Now, looking at the bigger picture, as I mentioned earlier, getting the result, the assessment does not stop by getting the result of the students. Now, we want to find out yung we want to gauge the whole class. We want to gauge the effectiveness of our teaching method. We can take a look at the topics view and the last three views natin, topics, curriculum, and cognitive skills. So under the topics view, instead of the scores, what we are seeing here is the proficiency of the students on the different topics and subtopics within a subject. And so as you can see here, we have 22% for the class under multiplication and division of whole numbers. And under multiplication and division of whole numbers, we have the different subtopics. So from here, we can easily identify which are the specific subtopics the class is struggling at. Yeah, right? Or if we want to view a specific student, so we can now identify that Clarence is struggling with multiplication and division of whole numbers, specifically yung mental multiplication, because the average of Clarence based on all the assessments that I provided regarding that covers this topic is just 50%. And then from here, I can retrain, I can provide additional from here, I can decide to provide additional assessment or practice exercises for Clarence, or I can provide additional resources like PDF files, videos, lessons, and so on. Now, for the curriculum view naman po, this is where we can view the learning objectives and what is the proficiency of the students when it comes, or the mastery of the students, or the proficiency of the students when it comes to the learning objective. So sa topics is mastery, dito sa curriculum and cognitive skills is the proficiency naman. Sa cognitive skills natin, just like I've mentioned earlier, yung sa isang type of assessment natin, assessment as learning, this is where we view their proficiency dun sa Bloom's taxonomy na tinatawag natin. Yan. And after that, we go back, we reflect to the methods of teaching that we use. We go back to assigning lessons, assigning formative assessments, summative assessments, seat works, homeworks, and so on. It's basically, it would be just a cycle, right, as you can see. So there, that's how Nuadu can help the teacher. Again, this is just a quick preview of what in store for you, but hope that you have learned a lot and you have gained some additional insights from the presentation that I've made. Just go back to my slide. There you go. So again, thank you for participating to this webinar, and we would like to thank CHRDF for inviting me to be one of their guest speakers. Thank you so much po and take care and stay safe po and have a wonderful day ahead, everyone.
Thank you so much, sir. If there's any question po, we will send the email to the YouTube so that you can ask the question on, you can contact them to their email po. Thank you po. Please allow me to share my screen for the certificate of recognition. On behalf of Center for Human Research and Development Foundation Incorporated, we would like to award this certificate of recognition to Big Pond Enterprises for being our resource speaker in the Educators Congress and International Seminar Workshop on Designing Learning Experience on Online Assessment Made Easy, held on July 5, 2021 in Quezon City, given this fifth day of July in the year of our Lord 2021 in Quezon City, Philippines. Signed by our President, Ms. Virginia P. Gapus, our Program Director, Mr. Jeffrey M. Mayor, and yours truly. Again, thank you so much, sir. This is now the end of our international seminar workshop. I will post the link that for the post-lecture validation of your participation po, and for the certificate also. Nalagay ko na po yung link sa ating YouTube comment section. Remind ko lang po na yung Google form natin, available lang po siya 30 minutes. After po nun, magko-close din po. So, I just want to thank all of you for participating on our 4-day international seminar workshop. Thank you po and see you all we hope to see you all of you for our future conferences. Thank you po. God bless everyone. Bye po.